Welcome to DIY Reefers. I'm back with another update on the 40 breeder, and I've made some changes to the system. I've added an inline UV filter. I added that inline UV filter coming out of the return pump that's going back to the tank. And I'm actually thinking about also adding an overflow box and adding a UV filter coming from the overflow box. I haven't really decided if I really want to do that, but I do want to add the overflow box because the PVC overflow doesn't really keep up the way I really want it to. It's just not efficient, and it's not consistent either, because sometimes it'll actually drain the water correctly, and then maybe it might get clogged, just barely clogged, and it'll throw off the whole system. So I'm probably going to be adding a external overflow box. I've actually already seen one online that I think I want to get, so look forward to that video. But back to this one, I've added the inline UV filter, and you get to get a glimpse of the side of the tank that you never see, where all of the plug-ins and the wires are. So if you actually look, you can see where I have my controls for my wave maker. I have the heater controller and all the other plug-ins for everything on the tank. And right where that return line is coming from the sump going back up to the tank, you can see where I've added that UV filter. And what that UV filter is going to do is going to help clarify the water and keep some of that green algae and all the other bad stuff that I don't want pretty much popping up in the tank, like diatoms and all that other kind of stuff. It's going to keep a lot of that stuff down. So I just added it, and it's been a couple of days. The tank is looking pretty clear still, as it usually does right now. The algae is I still have some algae, but it is actually going away. I mean, I've been in there probably every few days, and every time I change the water to kind of manually pick out as much of the algae that I can. I've also been using an algae fix that I got from Petco or PetSmart, one of those stores, but it's made by API, I believe, and just following the directions on the bottle, I've been dosing that to the tank, and the algae isn't as green anymore. You can actually kind of tell that it's kind of brown and stringy, like it's dying off. And every time I actually go in there and to brush off the rocks, the algae just kind of falls off, and then I siphon it out. And that's what I've been doing in between the water changes and along with the water changes. But I'm going to see how this UV filter really affects the tank and how it can improve things. I still want to add some more flow to the tank, and so I've really narrowed it down to what wave maker I want to get, and I'm going to be adding that wave maker so I can take the old filter blower out. It kind of looks ridiculous in there, where it's just the part of the filter that actually just moves the water. I can take that out and put a real wave maker in it to match the one that I have on the other side of the tank, to give it more flow and kind of actually help the tank out a little bit more, because from what I'm finding out, the flow actually is going to help some of that waste matter and all that other stuff that's being generated in the tank to kind of stay in the water column and then flow through the overflow, which is another reason that I want to get the overflow box, because that external overflow will allow my tank to kind of get more of the water out. With the PVC, I mean, the holes are only so big, and that 1-inch PVC only can drain so much water. And like I said, it's just not really efficient. It works, but it doesn't work as good as something that's going to actually be designed for the tank for work. So I'm going to be making that change soon also. Like I said, a lot more things to come with the new wave maker, overflow box. Still looking to get some more livestock in the tank. You know, whenever that happens, it happens. But I'm really just more focused on making the tank as stable as I can get it for everything that's already living in there. And especially when I actually can see some more growth in the coral is when I want to add some more. I don't want to add anything else and the tank is not doing so good, and then things start to die. So I want to actually see a lot more exponential growth before I go and start adding more stuff in. So I'll probably be looking at adding maybe like a maybe a couple pieces a month, maybe, who knows. And maybe, like I said, maybe a few more fish, but I don't want to overload the tank to kind of add more of a bio load and make it even harder to for the tank to kind of filter out all that waste. But as of now, everything's looking good, and just go ahead and enjoy some of the views of the tank, just the fish swimming around. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.